What's up guys, welcome to the live stream. So today we're just going to do a little bit of boxing, a little bit of training. I'm going to show you how to wrap your hands, how to do some basic skipping, some heavy bag technique. A lot of guys struggle with hitting the bag and they hurt their wrists when they hit. So I'm going to show you how to wrap your hands and how to prevent getting a wrist injury. And we'll just do maybe 4 or 5 rounds and you can rewatch it, you can follow along. If you have a heavy bag, you can rewatch it and try to do the same techniques that I'm doing. You can do shadow boxing, so if you watch this video again or you're watching a live stream and you're able to train, you can tune in, train a lot, or watch it later, train with a heavy bag or just shadow box. Start with the hand wraps. The hand wraps I use are the hand wraps. You get 3 meters, you get much longer ones. But I just like to use a standard hand wrap that's quite easy. It just protects your knuckles. So it's not essential to have a hand wrap, but you're more likely to have an injury if you have a hand wrap on. More to hurt your knuckle and your wrist bends a lot more. So a simple way to wrap your hands: put it around, coming around the back of your thumb, wrap it 3 times around your wrist, come up, wrap it 3 times around your knuckles. Remember to keep your fingers open, because if your fingers are closed, when you close your fist, your fist expands and you're going to really hurt yourself because everything's too tight. So if you're wrapping your hands like this and your knuckles and hand get sore from boxing, it's because you're not opening your fingers when you're wrapping your hands. You need to give yourself a little bit of that space. So you're going to wrap it 3 times, protecting your knuckles, come back down, and then you're going to go through your fingers, come around your knuckles again. If you have very sensitive knuckles and you struggle, do a few more wraps than normal around your knuckles just to protect it. Do a few crisscrosses just to secure your wrist, and then you're going to come down quite low and wrap it up. That's it. Do the next hand. Now this just gives you added support, helps your wrist a lot, and it just pads your knuckles up quite a bit. Because if you're throwing very heavy punches, straight punches, or even hooks, you can really hurt your knuckles if you're not punching correctly. So you must make sure that your hands are wrapped up nice and tight, especially if you have injuries. A lot of guys have wrist injuries from boxing or knuckle injuries, and having your hands wrapped up makes a huge difference. So same technique, 3 around your wrist. You want to come up, remember to open your fingers, 3 around your knuckles, then you can come through your fingers. I do have a video showing you how to do this hand wrap. Some guys like to secure their thumb and they come around the thumb to secure the thumb. So if you have a thumb injury, you can wrap your knuckles and then come around the thumb and across. But I don't find that it's very comfortable for me. I prefer not having it around my thumb. So I'll protect my knuckles, protect my wrist, do a few crisscrosses, maybe 1 more around the knuckle, and just see how long your wraps are. So if you have longer wraps, you can do more around the knuckle, you can do more crisscrosses to keep your wrist stable. If you run out of wrap, then obviously just take 1 row off and then come around your wrist and go up and down the wrist. So don't just keep it in one spot, go a little bit up, a little bit down, keeping it nice and tight. Okay, start with a few rounds. Just 3-minute rounds for boxing time. Just going to do some. The first round, you just want to move, get loose, get moving, and just get the feel and the rhythm. So I got these new Everlast. I've gone through lots of different gloves. So far these are the nicest ones for me, because it's added support. So if your hand is inside, you can see this wrist support comes way up. It's got the heavy foam in it, so you can't wrist. So when you're throwing those heavy punches, it doesn't just bend, which is quite nice. So I'm going to put a 3-minute timer on. The first round we're going to do 3 minutes and just loosen up. If you want to warm up, do some side to side movement. Keep your legs together, side to side, move around, and just feel that stretch in your sides. You can even arms loose, get your shoulders loose, rotate your arms. Let's put the timer on and start. Remember to move around the bag when you're hitting. You don't want to stand in one spot. A lot of guys punch and then they just stand in one spot and throw the same punches. You want to move around, constantly moving, head movement. You want to get that head moving out the way. Pretend that someone's throwing punches towards you. So you're moving, ducking. Focus on the jab. So you're really getting your shoulder into it and snapping that jab. If you're not snapping your shoulder, it's slow. There's no power. If you just roll your shoulder forward slightly, get a much better snap into the jab. Remember to move around. Getting that cardio, getting that movement, you'll feel that your sides start working. Get a big core workout doing boxing. Another good thing that you need to practice is breathing. So every punch you're throwing, you need to exhale. So that's why if you're in a boxing gym, you'll hear the guys shouting or going, ha, 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 every time they're throwing a punch. It's because if you're exhaling on your punch, you're letting go of all that energy and it keeps your breathing stable. Because if you're holding it in, you're not going to throw as hard. Your breathing's going to be off and you're going to gas yourself. Reaction time is another important factor. When you're throwing punches, you want to remember to bring your hand back as quick as you can. You don't want to punch, keep your hand out there, because if you're sparring, you're going to get clipped very quickly. So punch and remember to bring it back. Become second nature eventually, but you just want to remember to snap it back as quick as you're throwing it. Hands up all the time, don't drop them too much. Okay, first round is done. So you want to keep your hands up, remember to snap it back, bring your hands up. We'll do a few rounds that are a bit looser, where you're standing and you're moving a little bit, because it gets good movement in your shoulders and your traps, because you want to keep loose. So we'll alternate between keeping very tight and very loose. Just got to take this jacket off, it's getting too hot. Even though it is cloudy today and a bit cooler, it's still humid and I get hot very quickly when boxing. 50-minute break and then we box again. Yeah, 50-second break, not 50-minute break. That will be counterproductive. Okay, this round we're going to keep it nice and loose. Don't have to be too strict on your form. So keep your shoulders nice and loose, not too high. You can let your arms down a bit. Don't want the guard too high. This will just get that nice movement. So I'm going to go a little bit faster this round, not hard punches, just snap those punches in. So I've got these dots. Everyone always asks me about these dots on my bag. I've had this bag for about 14 or 15 years. And when I was learning, I would always punch in the same spot. You always seem to go for the same spot on a bag when you're learning because you don't know the different combos and things. So what I did, painted these dots all over it so that I could teach myself some combos and remembering to hit high and low. So if you see I do jabs, that's a body shot. That'll be a headshot. So this just trains you. If you don't know what you're doing, that just keeps you going high, low, because you don't want to hit in the same spot. You want to alternate, move around. Another thing you want to do is move around the bag and moving in and out. So it's very tricky in the beginning learning all these things, but when you want to come in for a punch, you step in, you want to punch, you want to step out. Okay, that's another round done. 50 seconds left. So there's a lot of techniques and tips to boxing. Everyone thinks you're just throwing punches, but it's like a game of chess, because especially if you're sparring somebody, they've got their own techniques. You don't have a bag that's standing still, and they've got a different stance to you. They throw differently to you. They're hitting back, so you need to remember to protect yourself. So these are all good things to remember, keep in mind when you're hitting the heavy bag. It's also quite good to spar somebody if you've never sparred anybody, just to get that feeling of why you're moving in and out, why you're moving around, why you're hitting high and low, because guys are blocking, so you need to alternate to get the hands up, do a body shot. So these are all good with sparring. It trains you and gets you a different style of boxing. Okay, third round, let's go. Mix it up, we'll go in and out, we'll speed it up, we'll do some light punches, mix it up with some heavy hooks. Also find your range of motion. So you got to feel where the bag is. You don't want to be too close because you can hurt yourself sometimes if you're throwing too close and it's a bit awkward. Throw yourself off balance. So always remember to throw alternating punches, keep your balance. I'll show you how this works with skipping. Skipping, just get your footwork right and you can throw without losing balance. So finding your range, that's what the jab is for. You're just testing. Your jab can be used as a crutch to keep your opponent away from you, snap it in, and it gets your range. So with your power shot, you're getting your range, and you could explode. You want to be careful doing this. If you're too far, you're not finding your range first and you're too far and you throw a punch, you can really hurt your elbow. It'll throw you out for a few weeks. So you never want to be too far and throw a hard punch and miss the bag. That's really going to hurt your elbow a lot. your shoulders nice and loose. Keep rolling them through the rounds, because if you box too often and you're very stiff, you start getting rounded shoulders. So you got to work on not getting them too round. Keep them loose. The looser they are, the harder your punches are going to be, because you can really snap nice and loosely and they're not getting stiff and tight when you're throwing your hooks. 18 seconds left of this round. That's it, okay. Let's do a round of skipping. Everyone's favorite. Okay, so when it comes to skipping, you got to choose a rope that's good for you. Whew, now I'm out of breath. So I've got this rope, I made it myself by combining two different ropes. So this one is a weighted handle, it's got a ball bearing so it spins nicely. Let me spin it for you. So weighted handle, which gives you a lot more control, doesn't feel too light. And this is a speed rope. So if it hits you, you'll know about it. It's like getting whipped really, really hard. I've got lines all over my back just from this. So speed rope helps with doing tricks and things, get your footwork right. And I just find it way better than a leather rope. So you can, whatever rope you've got and whatever rope you like is good, but you've got to find one that works better for you. Let me just set this up so that I can show you some footwork with skipping. This really gets, let me just set this tripod up properly. This really, really helps with your footwork and keeping your balance. Start on the outside just to get that rhythm. Alternating from foot to foot really, really helps. Instead of just jumping up and down like this, you can, but this alternating from foot to foot, just jumping, putting your weight on one foot. So imagine that you're jumping on one foot, and just doing that lightly. So be light on your feet. That motion keeps your balance. When you're boxing and moving in and out, you can see how that moving your balance from foot to foot keeps you balanced. You can move, get your next punch set up. So skipping is essential. So you can change it up. You can do high knees. You can step in and out the whole time. That gets you a rhythm of skipping as well. Make sure that you've got body awareness, because sometimes you'll hit your feet a lot in the beginning, or if you're doing a twist, you might catch it with your feet. So it just gets you that spatial awareness around you, which is crucial. So when you're hitting the bag, you know how your body's moving, you can react quickly. So there's a lot of things that skipping helps with. It's not just jumping up and down. When you start getting a bit tired, you start messing up a lot more. Just make sure that your rope is stretched out. Sometimes you get a kink. And also because I've skipped so much, got all these little scratches and kinks, and it's very brittle here. So sometimes it just hooks a little bit funny. Okay, one round done. We'll do one more round of skipping, then we'll go back to the wrecking ball bag. So for fitness, boxing is great. For cardio, getting your heart healthy, you want to be fit. And I wasn't doing a lot of cardio, I was boxing, but every now and then I wasn't boxing a lot. when I had my heat stroke and my high blood pressure, my fitness went out the window. So getting it back over these last 5 months, feeling a lot stronger, and I should be off my blood pressure tabs very soon, which is great. For those that have followed my channel from the beginning, you'll know that I struggled with thoracic outlet syndrome, where my arm was blue and numb. I had no pulse in this left arm, and the doctors wanted to cut out my top rib. So that's what made me study exercise science, biomechanics. Started helping myself recover and pushed myself through, and managed to do all the things that I needed to do to not have the surgery, and managed to recover from thoracic outlet syndrome. If you research it, if you don't know what thoracic outlet syndrome is, you'll see a lot of baseball players have it, from repetitive motion of your arm, of throwing the ball hard. Bodybuilders get it from training traps and back, and everything rounds forward, and chest. Your chest gets too strong, so it pulls everything forward. And not too long ago, a basketball player was the first basketball player to be diagnosed with thoracic outlet syndrome. And it's not something that you can see, so it's something you feel inside, and you feel dizzy all the time. You can't do anything. Your arm feels useless. I couldn't even hold a pencil because the pencil kept dropping out of my hand. So there's a lot of things that come with thoracic outlet syndrome. And there's a lot of precursor symptoms that you get that might not be thoracic outlet syndrome. You might have frozen shoulder or rounded shoulders and getting to that stage. But if you can work on your body, work on your posture way before that even happens, you'll be fine. Okay, let's stop talking so much, get another round of skipping in. I like if I'm not here, it should work. Go focus on don't want you to I'm skipping or ligament half out foot or not. On fire. Okay, last round. Get some head movement on the wrecking ball bag. This one is great because you can do uppercuts. Everyone struggles with uppercuts for some reason. It's not the easiest punch to throw, and also getting the right movement, moving the right way, throwing the punch. It's the most complicated punch of them all. This bag is nice because you can't throw upper punches on this bag. It's too low and it's way too hard, and you really hurt yourself. This one's got a nice padding where you can throw uppercuts even without a glove on. You can hit this pretty hard. The nice thing about it is it's super heavy, so it's not very hard. Super heavy, so you really get a good workout. Last round. So 6 rounds is quite difficult. Even if you're very fit. It's 3-minute rounds. That's like a pro boxing round is 3 minutes. Amateur is 2 minutes. So if you want to start on 2 minutes, get your rounds done, just shadow boxing, even doing what I do without a bag, just shadow boxing, moving around, getting the movement, you can do that. But 6 rounds is pretty intense, but work your way up. If you can do 2 rounds and 3 rounds, you'll eventually get to 4, 5, 6, even more. Okay, let's get this last round. These are also 16-ounce gloves, so they're very heavy. In a boxing match, they're usually 8 ounce to 10 ounce. So 16 ounce is pretty heavy, and they get your shoulders working, works your arms a lot more, tires you out quicker. Get this round done before it rains. I can feel some drops. I may not look hard, but those uppercuts take all your power. Check how heavy this bag is. Oh. It's probably about 80 kilos. Okay, time's up. 6 rounds went quicker than I thought. So, hope you enjoyed the live stream, taught you something. You can always go back and watch this again. And if you want to shadow box, if you don't have a bag, sometimes I like just standing in the lounge, moving around, throwing some punches. Just get that side to side movement. If you can move, bob and weave, throw some punches, you'll get fitter, you'll feel a lot better. You just got to elevate your heart rate and get to a point where you're not feeling like you're dying every time you're training, but you're out of breath, because you want to get that hard, intense workout to increase your fitness. It will lower your blood pressure, will help your heart beat a lot more efficient, not pumping as hard as it needs to. It can pump slower, you'll have a lower resting heart rate, you'll feel a lot better, you'll have a lot more energy. So the more tired you are putting the work into training, you'll feel a lot better throughout the day. You'll probably crave better foods. You won't crave crisps, you won't crave all the junk food out there. You'll crave good healthy things. Fish and salad, chicken breast and vegetables, rice with whatever you want to put on it. If you're training hard enough, you can't eat whatever you like, but if you're eating properly through the day, you can throw in something bad every now and then. You don't have to stick to one day of having a cheat meal, because that mindset and mentality of having one day cheat meal will throw you off completely and you'll lose focus. I remember when I was dieting, I was down to about 80 kilos, 81 kilos. I had a six-pack showing, but I was miserable. I had 8 egg whites for breakfast, oats, tuna, rice and pineapple, fish for dinner, and I was that every single day for about a year. So if you're not happy with what you're eating, you're gonna fall off, you're not gonna stick to it. So if you're training hard, eating correctly, if you're eating properly as well, you can eat a potato every day. If it's not too saturated with cheeses and butters, you can have proper vegetables, you can have proper full proteins like chicken and fish. If you're vegetarian, you can have There's so many different options that you can have that are good for you, healthy, you get enough protein, and you're just going to feel a lot better and feel healthy. Especially with Corona now, there's a lot of people that are not healthy, and now everyone's figuring out that they're not actually so healthy because they're trying to train, they're trying to eat right, and it doesn't matter if you're healthy or not healthy, but the healthier you are, you're going to feel a lot better, and your immune system is going to be very strong, not as compromised, which is always good, and you're going to get through if you get sick. So stay strong, stay healthy, stay relentless, don't give up on your goals, never give up. I could have given up with thoracic outlet syndrome. I was stuck on the couch. I've got plenty of videos talking about when I was stuck on the couch. I couldn't leave the house, and I used to use GTA just to walk around the streets in the game, just to feel like I was normal and I could get out the house, because I couldn't even stand up from going to my kitchen to my bathroom without feeling lightheaded and dizzy because of the tight compression in my brachial plexus. I had no pulse in my arm, so it was a long journey. It was difficult. Recovered from that, and then obviously my heat stroke. And another key is my anxiety and panic attacks, which I've held at bay now. But every now and then you go through stressful times, it feels like you're dying with your panic attack. So magnesium supplements has changed my life. I feel if I don't have magnesium for a few weeks, if I run out of my supplements, I take slow mag, which is a slow release magnesium throughout the day. If I don't have that for a few weeks, my stress levels are elevated. I feel a lot more stressed. I can feel anxiety coming on. I can feel a panic attack coming on. So just keep yourself healthy. I've got all the videos you need with panic attacks, with thoracic outlet syndrome, frozen shoulder, the mental toughness that you need to get through an injury when you're feeling at your lowest point, when you can't do anything. So click through my channel, you'll find lots of videos. I've got over 100 videos, and there must be something that will help you there. Comment, let me know what you think. If there's something that helps you, or you need something, topic discussed that you're not too sure of, if you're struggling with something, just comment, let me know, and I'll make a video of it, try to help you out, I'll message you. So that's it for the live stream. It's drizzling.